So first off, we're going to be diving into our top most anticipated anime of 2024. So yeah, let's go over, do a little change, a little transition over here, and scroll on down. We're going to go in order of release, but basically I chose three, Shorty also chose three, and we'll just go through and discuss each of those in release order. So let's see, starting off, I do believe you have your bartending anime. Why don't you give us a little bit of the lowdown on what this one's about, because I'm less familiar on why this one has caught your interest.
So Bartender Glass of God, I read this probably a decade and a half ago for the manga. It's just a slice of life type one, tells the life of our main character, who's a bartender, whose goal is to make the perfect drink. He lives by the saying, there are three people who will never lie to you, which is a doctor, a physician, and your bartender. He pays super close attention to his guests and tries to make the perfect drink for everyone who comes through.
Okay, so there's nothing supernatural about this. This is literally just a dude that is very passionate about the art of being a bartender.
Yes, he's one of the best bartenders in the world.
I'm here for that. I like that. I like something that I feel there's going to be a lot of emotion to it, but I also enjoy like the very, like, let's get into a very specific niche or job kind of thing. So this could be pretty cool. I hadn't heard about it until you brought it up, in all honesty.
If you just want a nice slow pace anime to watch or read if you have the time, I highly recommend it. Okay. It's just one of my comfort ones that I go back to every couple years, just to get away from the mainstream stuff that's going on.
Now, if you were going to compare it to anything, since you are familiar with the source material, is there any like manga or anime that you can think of off the top of your head that would be like, oh, if you enjoyed this, then definitely check out your bartender anime?
Probably A Restaurant in Another World.
Okay.
That one's really good. That's a isekai-esque one.
It is, yeah.
So it's just that kind of like just slow pace, just trying to work your 9 to 5, a really relatable one.
Totally, man. Totally. All right, so let's go on to my first one that is also coming out on the 4th, which is, you know, today when we're recording this, but it'll already be out when it is posted tomorrow. And just so you guys know, his first pick is also going to be on Crunchyroll. I did want to put that out there so that way if you guys do want to watch it, it will be on Crunchyroll already, so you can go and watch it now. Let's go and jump in to my first one, which is none other than Kaiju number 8. Oh, everybody knows that I am a very big tokusatsu guy. Give me Godzilla, Power Rangers, Ultraman, you know, like I'm all about that. So Kaiju number 8 is right up my alley. Like, you had this guy that was basically what I would call kind of like the cleanup crew, or what did they had something like that in Marvel, where they were the ones that, like, after the battle was done, you have to go in there and like clean it up essentially. And basically what it is like this guy ends up getting the powers of a kaiju, but he's like human sized. So it's a lot like Ultraman that was on Netflix, the 3D animation one. So it's like, it's so cool. Like, are you familiar with this one at all, Shorty?
No, I've seen some clips and stuff like that about it, but I've never gotten into the Kaiju series.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie, I'll give you that.
Right. Well, so this one, it definitely gives you a similar to almost a Power Ranger-y kind of deal, because it is just a dude in a suit, but he joins like the military. So he's helping all of these like super soldier types that use weapons that are made from the strongest of kaiju. So, you know, it's not like they're defenseless either. They're like totally awesome as well, but he's kind of like their ace in the hole kind of character, you know, like he's gonna come in at the end of the fight and fight the main baddie type. It is a shonen anime, but I enjoy this one a lot because, like I said, I'm a big Toku fan. Do you think that this is one that you are going to end up watching, Shorty?
I probably will check it out. I do like the art style for it, and the animation looks really smooth.
Yeah.
And the way you're bragging it up is definitely something I will have to look more into. Put it on my ever ending list of anime to watch.
Oh yeah, the ever growing. It never stops. It never stops.
No, it does not.
Yeah, when you're an anime fan, you don't get to have a smaller list. So let's go on to your next one. You have the irregular at a magic high school as your next one.
This one's another kind of slice of life one, but with magic.
Yeah.
This guy, he has next to no emotions. They're pretty much sealed off. And him and his sister go to a magical high school where science and magic kind of mix together, which is really cool.
And so this is not the first season of this, is this?
No, this is
season
not.
3?
This season 3, yes.
Yeah.
So by this point, he's unlocked more and more of his magic abilities because his parents, spoilers, his parents have sealed away his magic ability so that he can protect his little sister.
So I think I've seen season 1 of this. I don't think I made it to season 2 yet.
There is a weird romance between the siblings.
Well, it is Japan. That's thrown in there a lot, you know, no game, no life.
Yeah. Well, this one I'm pretty sure, because I haven't finished the manga yet, or the light novel.
Right.
But it hints that they're not related by blood, but more he was adopted into the family to protect her. So like a bodyguard brought into the family.
Nice.
But it is there's a lot of good action in it. The story's really smooth. There's not many plot holes in it.
Yeah.
And the animation is really on point.
It is a fun one. I am a big fan of school anime in general. So this one scratches that itch very well, especially since I'm getting ready for that campaign later this year. That's going to be in a high fantasy like school anyway. So, you know, I like to be able to watch stuff like that for inspiration. So I might actually hold off on watching it until the winter, so that way I can use it for inspiration for that campaign. But I
do highly recommend it. It is really good.
And speaking of things that go along with campaigns, well, we got to talk about my next pick, man. That comes out tomorrow when this is going up on YouTube. Talking about none other than Go Go Loser Ranger. Because if you guys didn't know, me and Shorty are a part of a Power Rangers campaign over on Artificer Alley. But this, I read this one as well. I've noticed that we're both very educated on the anime that we're excited for. Like, we're both just like, oh yeah, we're way into this series, but we're gonna watch it. This one is like, if one of the putties, one of the henchmen from Power Rangers disguised himself and entered the Power Ranger Academy because he wants to take it out from the inside. Because like, basically what happens in this one is like 10 years ago or something like that, the aliens came to the world. The Power Rangers took them out in the first day or something like that. And basically they've been having them come out like every Sunday just to get their butts kicked. So that way the Rangers can pretend that, so the Rangers can pretend like they're real superheroes when they're really just exploiting the system and abusing these henchmen that got left behind after the main baddies got beat. And so this guy's like, I'm tired of being tortured every day. I'm taking you down. Like, it is a dark, dark, dark look at like a Sentai style series. So, you know, if you're into something like obviously Power Rangers, but if you're into something also like the Massive Verse that Image Comics puts out, you know, that has a similar kind of like darker tone to it. Yeah, like this is the dark Power Rangers one if you've ever wanted that. If you're wanting a funny one, you know, you can go watch something like Love After World Domination. This is definitely that darker series. So what do you think about this one? Is this it is totally Power Rangers Big Papa, by the way. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Zetman.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen that, that's a really dark one too, which is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely suggest reading this one as well. It's got a good bit of like over 100 chapters if I'm not mistaken. So it's a good sit down and read series if you're like I said, if you're not a Power Rangers fan, it's still enjoyable just because of like it's like the anti-hero. This guy's not, this henchman's not a good guy either. It's just the Rangers are worse kind of series. So if you like that where the main character's not, you know, really good guy, it's a fun one.
I was reading one not too long ago where it turned out the good guys were the bad guys and the bad guys were the good guys, and they just swapped it over.
Like Uwe Blatt, was that the one? Or
Uberblatt, that's good. We'll have to talk about that one.
We're gonna definitely talk about we need to do like we got to do the most brutal anime, because then we can talk about like Berserk and Uberblatt and, you know, stuff like that, because that'd be a fun list.
That series is so good.
Let's do that soon.
We'll put a pin in that one.
We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah, I love that series. I didn't even know you knew about that one. Not many people do. It's super good.
Solo leveling. Yeah, we were actually talking about solo leveling earlier, Big Papa. I'm about 3 or 4 episodes in. Shorty is like reads the source material for that one, so is way ahead of where I'm at.
So I'm already in the source material. They talk about the after the series ends and when they have kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you do get a chance to read that, I highly do recommend it. It is really good.
So let's go into your next one, which I will give you a little bit of crap for this one, just because it is an isekai anime, and you know, like, it's fine. Just your top 3, you got an isekai in there. So Aristocrat Isekai, go and give us the lowdown, my guy.
So this one's not like a normal isekai. This dude's power is just appraisal. That's it. he can tell if someone will be useful or not, and it ranks it through the S through F system. And so what his goal is to help his kingdom by finding the best candidates for every job.
Okay.
The best warrior, the best blacksmith, and he finds those kids in the slums who don't have the option of going to the schools, but they have the innate ability to do all these great jobs.
Yeah.
Be the best assassin, be the best accountant. Everybody has the skill set that no one knows what it'll develop into, but this guy does, and it's super nice. It's definitely a nice takeaway from the normal reborn into another world,
and now I'm the strongest guy ever. Yeah. Well, I mean, because we were talking about the one, we talked about the one where it was the guy that really gets into like the economics and like, you know, goes in and like helps out with all of that type of stuff earlier, and so this one kind of feels like it has a similar-ish vibe.
Yeah, the realist is reincarnated into another world. That one's really good.
Yeah, so I do like the isekai that kind of turn like the formula around a little bit. So I might at least give it a try.
The art's really nice too. It kind of reminds me of Pharmacist in a Parallel World, which is another isekai.
Yeah.
Which isn't your general one. He is overpowered, but his only goal is to cure sickness. He died being a doctor, and he wants to help his new family, new friends survive the Black Plague and things like that come around, which is really fun.
Nice. So I got one more in the barrel, man. One more. And this one is actually a remake. And it comes out on the 8th. We'll go over when and where everything comes out at the end of this, so we can, when we're wrapping up this segment. But yeah, I would say this one is, as much as I'm excited for the other two, this one might be the one I'm most anticipating, like that I'm most excited for, and that's the Spice and Wolf remake. I am such a big fan of Spice and Wolf, just because I love things that are about like the economy and how things work, and like this series is just amazing. Like I love the fact that it has the aspect of like the goddess and stuff, but that's only one focus. Like they're getting a lot into like how the Catholic Church were driving out the pagans, the conversions of money, you know, like the way that they were using the church to repress different societies and stuff. And it's so good. Like, and the romance between like the traitor, because it's like a traitor guy that's like going between, and he seems very cold, but he's very lonely. I actually relate to him a lot, because he's kind of gives you like almost like being like a trucker being out on the road alone kind of vibe to it. But it's like, you know, he's going through and going town to town and everything, and then this goddess ends up traveling with them, and you know, it's such a good story. It's beautiful. Even the original is beautiful, but the fact that we're getting a remake with just new art makes me so excited. And so what do you think? What is your familiarity with Spice and Wolf? Do you have any at all?
No. So that was one of the series that I had friends who were really into.
Yeah.
But I couldn't pick it up. I don't know why it was. I tried multiple times. I couldn't get through it.
It is a slow and somber kind of series. It is not an action series. So if you're really wanting action, I am here to tell you, you are in the wrong place. It's a slow, methodical, like amazing series though, but it is definitely not something if you're looking for that action itch.
Speaking of action, the end of that clip you just had posted was a really good action one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go over the dates for all of these just so we can make sure that everybody knows when and where to watch them. So we've got, first off, your Butler anime. What was the name of it again?
Bartender Glass of God.
Bartender.
It released today.
Today, yes.
It was the first episode on Crunchyroll.
Yep, alongside with Kaiju number 8. Both came out today, which will be already out once we post this up tomorrow on YouTube.
Yes.
And then we have your irregular school one. Sorry, I'm bad with these names.
Tomorrow, April 5th. Which
so it'll be coming out the day.
Out.
Yeah, it comes out the day that you guys will be able to watch this on YouTube. That is very exciting. And then of course we have the Aristocrat Isekai that comes out on the 7th over on Crunchyroll. Go Loser Ranger, weirdly enough, also on the 7th, but Disney Plus. I guess.
I'm really interested how Disney's going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but they have been doing Bleach. Go Loser Ranger is a bit darker than Bleach, though, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, well, Bleach is also coming out with a new season later this year too. So
yeah, really we're getting a continuation of the 1,000-Year Blood Wars, so that'll be exciting. And then to wrap it all up, of course, on the 8th we have the Spice and Wolf remake that is also Crunchyroll. So pretty much make sure that you have Crunchyroll, and if you really want to see Go Loser Ranger, I guess get Disney Plus. I don't know.
Pretty sure they still do a free trial, so
probably.